It's day one, the fun just begun. Day three, you still wanna fuck with me? Day four, it was okay. Day two, we're getting ready for you. One, two, three, four.
What? He was about to throw down with his coach right from there. Mike Tyson's, he's ready, man. Mentally, he's ready to get in there and destroy Jake Paul. But physically, is he capable? At the end of the day, everybody loves Mike Tyson, but the guy is still human at the end of the day, right? He's still an old guy. He's still about 60 years old, going up against someone who's 27. The physical limitations of anybody of that age is going to be concrete for pretty much the entire population. Now, for his age, I don't know what he's doing to keep himself in that good of a shape, and I'm not going to question it. Let Mike Tyson do what he wants. I will just say he got blessed by the gods of war. They called upon him, and he just instantly grew muscles and got lean. Iron Mike has been summoned. He's moving very well at his age. The pad work, the bag work, everything looks so good for a 60-year-old Mike Tyson. I mean, there's guys even in their early 20s that cannot move that same way. He's still bobbing and weaving really well. His footwork is excellent. He's so fast for his age. Although the clips are cut up in like half seconds, which is going to make anybody look fast momentarily. But we also have to know that these are Instagram videos and a lot of people do post training footages like this, especially because most people have a short attention span. So if you see constant action, hooks to the body, shifting to be evasive for counter punches on the mitts, we want to see this in rapid time. If you pay attention though, a lot of these videos are with him in like a squared stance, feet side to side instead of in front of each other, like he's crowding Jake on the ropes or something, And that's where a place in the fight that Mike Tyson could do very well against Jake if he has him up against the ropes and Jake, with his really bad footwork, is trying to get out of there. And with the bad footwork, he's not going to have good shot placements and generate enough power while moving on the ropes. If he's staying on the ropes and tries to look for like a check left hook, that could be pretty problematic for Mike Tyson. But there is a place right there that Tyson could do quite well against Jake. And I think Mike Tyson could do this for a prolonged period of time and doesn't need to trim this up in half-second moments for the clip. He has a great coach in front of him, Rafael Cordero, who's definitely going to put him to work as he does all of his fighters. And he could hurt any 20-year-old who stands in front of all that. But that's a normal, non-trained 20-year-old compared to a 27-year-old who's been training boxing for like the last 5 years or so and has gotten in the ring and actually performed against others. Jake Paul is not to be mistaken with some random 27-year-old YouTuber. He's put enough time in the training to be dangerous with his hands. He possesses that one-punch knockout ability that you're usually just born with. Even Mike Tyson had a quote back in the day that punchers are born, not made. Tyson said that himself, and he knows that Jake Paul possesses knockout power just naturally. So it is going to be a scary fight for any 6-year-old, even boxing legends, to go up against any 27-year-old who's been boxing for several years and had some professional fights. And even a doctor has come out, Stephen Hughes, that spoke about the risks of Mike Tyson not only competing in a professional fight, but even training as intensely as he is at his age. The stuff about brain damage and hematomas and stuff like that is understood very well for any boxer that gets hit in the head, but the older you are, the worse the damage is going to be. So the older he is, the more vulnerable he's going to be from something that he calls a subdural hematoma, which is pretty much tearing of the veins in the brain. From his words, causes confusion, loss of consciousness, a neurological disability, and even in some cases, being unalived. And he said before, quote, "I recall a patient, a boxer who had previously sustained a subdural hematoma and had a physical disability and terrible depression. These were devastating permanent effects. unquote. He also spoke about Mike Tyson's alcohol past, where he admitted that he was an alcoholic before. And not just in the fight, the doctor even states that training the way Mike Tyson is also putting him at potential health risks, such as cardiac fibrosis, which is caused by extreme exercise, arrhythmia, and narrowed heart arteries. And I don't know what Tyson is doing, when it comes to supplements, when it comes to diet and stuff like this. I don't know if it's going to even put him at more of a risk, depending on what he's doing there, because he looks fantastic at his age. But even with whatever he's doing, man, it's going to be very difficult for him to beat Jake Paul. He has the technique, he still has a skill in mind that never leaves no matter how old you get. The knowledge of the sport is always going to stay with you as long as you don't suffer from any brain damage, which is a blatant reality of the sport. It's just, can your body operate to execute the techniques that you know, and the game plans that you know, the strategies and the tactics and everything involved that would give Mike Tyson, at least in some department, an advantage. He has way more knowledge and experience on what he has to do against Jake Paul, but Jake Paul has the speed, the athleticism, most likely the cardio advantage, and very importantly, the better chin of the two. The older you are, especially after a grueling boxing career, your chin deteriorates from taking a punch. And especially Mike Tyson, who's been knocked out as many times as he has. For people that know Tyson's career, for his entire career, he was not an unstoppable force. He got knocked out 7 times in professional fights, and most likely had some health-altering sparring sessions along the way. As we know from a lot of those old school boxers, those guys sparred like they fought. And there have been many rumors of Mike Tyson even getting knocked out in sparring, going into fights to take even further damage, which is going to cause concussions and add more brain damage. So it honestly would not even be surprising to me if Jake Paul put him down with not even a big shot. But people are focusing on one extreme or the other. There's some people that think that Tyson is too much. He's still the Dynamite Kid. He's still Iron Mike. One shot to the jaw and Jake Paul retires from boxing. The biggest puncher, the myth, the legend, Mike Tyson just gonna annihilate this Disney actor. Then on the other side of the spectrum, we got people saying that Mike Tyson has absolutely no chance. And this side seems to be a lot more agreed upon, right? Jake is the younger guy and he should have an advantage in a lot of areas. And he is a massive favorite on the betting odds going into the fight as well. The truth of the matter is about Mike Tyson's chances is he does have a chance, but it is slight. Jake Paul makes a lot of mistakes technically. He gets himself out of position. He crosses his feet when he fights sometimes, and that's grounds for him to get clocked clean. And even an aging fighter can still develop enough power to knock a person out with a perfect punch. How likely is that to happen? Not likely at all for Tyson, but it is still a possibility, right? You still have to know that this is a fight at the end of the day. Mike Tyson does have a slight chance of landing that shot, just one zig when he should have zagged, and Jake Paul could be out of there. But that is most likely going to happen more often the other way around, which is why I don't like Mike Tyson fighting Jake Paul. I think he should have stayed retired from boxing. He could keep putting out the boxing training videos. We love seeing it, showing his physical evolution. Most guys at that age are not going to look like he does, and I really don't know what it's all about. Is it about the money? Is it a money grab? Tyson doesn't need to crawl his way to a spotlight or anything, right? He'll always be a big star forever, no matter what he does. So I don't think it's that. I don't think it's the money. I think he makes enough money doing a lot of other stuff. It might be the love for the sport, but then why is he fighting Jake Paul and not a boxer or someone his age, right? He did fight Roy Jones in the past, but why is he going up against Jake now if it's about the passion of the sport? Or he just wants to be a part of a big event. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know what Mike Tyson's real reasons are for returning to the ring against Jake, but I really hope that he's going to come out okay, man. And here's to Mike Tyson getting the win, man. I hope he pulls it off and shocks the world for the last time. And man, that's crazy to say. Mike Tyson shocks the world by beating Jake Paul. Never would I thought that picture would be a reality.